Hey ladies, it is that time of the week where we talk about real hair revelations. Super excited as always to talk to you guys. I'm a little late today and I'm going to tell you why once we get some people in the room. But I'm going to save my story until I start to see y'all show up. I know we normally start at 8:30, but it is almost 9 now. Eastern time at least, and I'm going to tell you what went on, why I'm late, and all that kind of stuff. Such a crazy evening. People not doing what they're supposed to do, but we'll get into that anyway. In just a moment. Hey Erica, hey Eva, hello Phyllis. Thank you guys for being so patient today. I hope you saw my message that said that I was going to be a little behind today. So thanks Erica. Hey Roberta. What's up Alicia? If you are new to Real Hair Revelations, do me a favor and type newbie so we can welcome you into our wonderful sisterhood. If you are an OG, you know what to do. Let the people know who you be and where you rep. Let us know where you're coming from, what city, what town you're repping. Let us know. And if you are brand new to Naturalicious Nation, welcome. My name is Gwen Jameer. I am the CEO and founder of Naturalicious. And at Naturalicious, we pride ourselves on creating time-saving beauty solutions that allow you to... I'm sorry. It's a lot happening in my house right now. I'm going to tell you all about it. Anyway, we pride ourselves on creating time-saving beauty solutions for you that cuts your wash days literally in half, helping you to spend more time living your best life and less time preparing for it. You can find us online at naturalicious.net and everywhere on the interwebs at Naturalicious Beauty. So here we are on Real Hair Revelations, and my shirt is like coming loose, like popping out. Oh my good showing. All right, y'all. So let me tell you what happened this evening. So I bought a washer and a dryer, a new washer and dryer. Mike, if y'all know who my boo is, Mike, his name is Mike. He was like, why are we buying a washer and dryer? I'm like, cause ours is ugly. And he's like, what, do you need something?
No, you talking about me?
I'm talking about you, yeah. So he's like, why are you buying a washer and dryer? And I'm like, because it's ugly. Ours is old and ugly. It's not pleasing to the eye. I don't like it. So he was like, but ours works just fine. And I'm like, but it's ugly. You know how it is? Like, the men, they just don't get it. You know, it's very important I feel like when you are in your home should be your sanctuary, right? It should be like where you go. When you look around, you should feel good about the things that you see, right? And our washer and dryer was just old and it was ugly. It was here when we bought the house, lived here for 8 years now. It's time for a new washer and dryer. And so we done painted the house, did all kind of stuff. The washer and dryer got paint all on this, and we need a new one. And so anyway, so we got a new washer and dryer. And they told me they were going to be here between 4 and 7 p.m. So I'm sitting here all day long, waiting around. They'll never show up. Here they come, talking about 8:04. What time did they show up? Like 8:30. I gotta be on Real Hair Revelations at 8:30, right? This isn't going to work for me. They show up about 8:15, 8:30, and they come in here, and first of all, they're an hour and a half late, and they come in, they're trying to install the washer and the dryer, and they're like, oh, we can't install it because we have some sort of like rigged up setup behind the washer, and we can't do it. So I'm like, not only are y'all late, but now you can't, like, we've been sitting here. I've been waiting for this wash and dryer for 3 weeks to get delivered. You finally deliver it. You're late. And then now you got me late for Real Hair Revelations. Not only are you late, got me late for Real Hair Revelations, but you can't even install my washer and dryer.
Oh, and while one guy was looking at it, the other guy was outside unboxing it.
Yes.
So now they're basically saying, well, we want to leave it here.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we take it back, it's going to get all banged up at the warehouse.
Right. So the one guy's in here looking.
You unboxed it until you verified that you could install it.
Right. So the one guy is looking at our water hookup or whatever, and the other dude is outside unboxing the washer and dryer. So when the first guy realizes that, oh, we can't install this, you're gonna have to like literally call a plumber, pay all this money to get your whole hookup redone, which is gonna cost who knows how much. Then he's like, it's unboxed. So he's like, well, it's better for us to just leave it here. And if we leave, like, because we've already taken it out of the box, why didn't you verify that you were able to install it before you unboxed it? So now they're like, well, we should just leave it here. Where you gonna put it? In the foyer? Like literally in the living room? Where are you gonna put the washer and dryer if you can't install it, if you can't unhook what's in the laundry room? I'm so irritated, right? So they're like, we can put it in the garage. There's no room in the garage. There's literally my car. Mike's car is outside the garage, and everything else is on the other side of the garage, which is like the lawnmower, the snowblower, like all Christmas decorations, all kind of stuff is taking up the other side of the garage. So no, there's no room for you to put it in the garage. That's not an option. The only option is for you to put it in the basement, which doesn't make sense, or for you to put it in literally like the entrance of the house, which is super weird when you come into the house and see a big washer and dryer. On top of that, they're like, we should just leave it because if we don't leave it, it's going to get banged up and scratched up. So I'm like, fine, just leave it. Just put it in the foyer, okay? Put it in the foyer, whatever. Then they go to do something else, and they're like, oh, well, you ordered a gas dryer. No, you ordered an electric dryer. You need a gas dryer. Okay, when I went to Home Depot and paid for the washer and the dryer, the associate told me that based upon the hookup that we had, we needed an electric dryer. So that's what I bought. Then you get here and tell me it's the wrong dryer. So all of this conversation that we had is completely null and void because we got the wrong dryer anyway. And I'm still late for Real Hair Revelations. Okay. Anyway. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Help me. So after all of this, we still don't have the washer and the dryer. Still don't have the washer and dryer. Anyway, that's why I'm late. So, hello everybody. If you have not shared this live yet, go ahead and share. Tonight we're going to do an Ask Me Anything. This is one of my favorite topics to do because it's like a non-topic. But it allows me to be able to answer your burning questions. Yes, Alicia, they boxed it up and took it back with them. Yeah, absolutely. So now I'm like, okay, they're like, we'll call the freight company to, I'm like, for what? Like, why am I calling the freight company? I should just call Home Depot and have Home Depot refund me and then just buy a new one. But then I bought it on sale and the sale ended October 31st. It's now November, which means that I probably won't get the sale price, which means I probably won't get the washer and dryer. It's a whole mess, honestly, right now. Team too much. Anyway, tonight is Ask Me Anything. And so, thank you guys. I'm glad y'all like my hair. This is like day 6 of my twist out. Y'all like it? I know I asked in the nation yesterday, what was your biggest frustration when you guys do your twist outs? And so many of you said, frizz. So many of you also said that you can't get it to last past like day 2. A lot of other people complained about the nighttime routine. They didn't know what to do at night. Anyway, it was a lot of the same sort of complaints that you guys have with your frustrations when it comes to your twist outs. And I was like, man, I gotta help my sisters out. So I think I might have something coming for y'all that's gonna kind of like help to make your twist outs like perfect and predictably perfect every single time. So stay tuned for that. That should be coming soon. So thank you, Doris. And I'm glad y'all like my look today because y'all know I was like about to go in on these people for all of this mess. But so ask me your questions. I want to know what it is that you want to know about your hair. I'll probably try to get to about 10 of them. Because y'all know I can get a little verbose and I tend to go in, I get on my soapbox and all that kind of stuff. So, I'll try to answer 10. If we can get some more, we will for sure. But we're going to try to do at least 10 tonight. So drop your questions right now in the chat. Let me know what it is that you're burning questions that you just have no answers for. You've been looking all around the web. You don't know why your hair is dry. You don't know why you can't keep your curl definition. You don't know about porosity, density, when you should do an apple cider vinegar rinse. Even if I've answered it before on Real Hair Revelations, feel free to drop those questions down. I haven't seen any questions yet, so maybe y'all ain't got no questions. And if so, that's cool too. We can just sit here and we can chat. Thank you, Sandra. Is it Sandra or Sandra? I want to make sure I say it right. I don't like saying people's names wrong. But thank you so much, girl. But yeah, this is day 6 for my hair while I'm waiting for you guys' questions to come in. This is about day 6, and I have not retwisted at all. I don't retwist my hair after I do a twist out. I just twist it on day 1, and then after that I do my typical nighttime routine, and I just wear it until it's time for wash day. Rochelle says, how often do you clip your ends? So me personally, Rochelle, I clip my ends generally I kind of clip my ends now as needed. I used to say that you should clip your ends every season, but I don't subscribe to that anymore. I think that is a good rule of thumb for someone who is just starting out, who needs to get onto a routine of consistency. Every season is a good kind of time. I've seen people say you should clip your ends every month. That's way too often. Our hair only grows 1/2 inch per month on average. Some people's hair is going to grow faster, some's going to grow slower. I'm actually going to show you how much 1/2 inch is. Hey, Mike. Mike. Okay, can you go in the bedroom and grab me that pink tape measure? It's in the first drawer in my nightstand. Okay, I'm going to show you how tiny 1/2 inch is. Because when I say our hair grows 1/2 inch per month, or 6 inches over the course of a year, it sounds like it might be more than it actually is. 6 inches is a lot, but 1/2 inch is not a lot. Thank you, sweetie. So this is how much 1/2 inch is. Here's the top of the tape measure. This right here is 1/2 inch. So from here to here is how much your hair grows on average every single month. So basically this whole length of this little like metal piece is how long your hair will grow on average. That's assuming you have had no breakage, no split ends, no causing any sort of lack of length retention, right? So if you get your hair cut or trimmed every month, you're literally basically at a stagnant space. Now over the course of a year, your hair, can grow about this much. That's 6 inches in a whole year, which is quite a lot, right? But that 1/2 inch is not a lot. It's the cumulative effect of a whole year of growth where you really see the difference, okay? So I don't subscribe to cutting your hair or trimming your hair every month at all. I never have. I don't think that's a good idea, especially if you're trying to grow it out. Now, if you are attempting to keep it short, maybe that's okay. But if you are attempting to grow it out, which most people who ask that question are, generally, I would say if you're starting out 4 times a year, generally every season, like at the change of the seasons, that's a pretty good rule of thumb. But nowadays, I've been natural now going on 8 years. I trim my hair as needed, and that is usually once or twice a year. I am oftentimes in a lot of protective styles, which prevents my hair from splitting, also prevents a lot of breakage. I'm very good about moisturizing my hair almost every day. I'm very good about doing hot oil treatments and deep conditioning. So the more care you're giving your hair on a consistent basis, the less you should actually have to trim. Now, every single strand of hair on our has something on it. Has something called a life cycle. The life cycle of your hair, once it gets to the end of the life cycle, 1 or 2 things is going to happen. It's either going to shed out, which is perfectly fine, perfectly normal, or it's going to split at the ends, or it might do both, all right? If it splits, this, again, is not unusual. This is normal. It just means your hair has gotten to the end of its life cycle, provided you haven't done anything to cause the splitting, such as like rough brushing or combing or, pulling out the little knots instead of like, doing hot oil treatments to smooth them out, that sort of thing. In that case, if you've been good, you're okay to trim your hair as needed. And that's generally once or twice a year. So for you, Rochelle, that's a long way of saying if you're just starting out 4 times a year, every season is pretty good. But if you've kind of been doing what you're supposed to do anyway, I would just really pay attention to my hair. Really look at those ends and say, okay, are these split? Are they not split? If they're not split, don't worry about getting them trimmed. If they are split, then go ahead and get them trimmed and make sure that you find someone who's going to trim your hair, not cut it. All right. I see a follow-up question saying, do you straighten your hair to trim it? Personally, I do. I don't cut my hair curly. I don't suggest that y'all cut your hair curly or trim your hair curly either. The reason for that is I know they have like the diva cut, and you know, they have people who are trained in cutting curly hair and all that, and that's all well and good. However, the more tightly coiled your hair is, the easier it is to accidentally cut off perfectly good hair. Because when it's in a super curly state, curly hair and split ends tend to look a whole lot alike. So if you want to prevent that, my suggestion is to make sure that you straighten your hair. The only time I really straighten my hair is when I'm doing a trim. So I kind of get a 2-for-1 bang for my buck. So I go ahead and I straighten it so I can do a length check. Also, so I can just wear it straight and have something different on my hair, with my hair. And then I also do a trim. So all of that I kind of get at the same time for me personally. So I believe in straightening your hair to trim it. Some people say they don't have to. More power to them. But if I were you, and you didn't want to cut off perfectly good hair, I suggest, highly suggest, that you straighten your hair to trim it. And you only have to do it every blue moon. It's not like you're going to be straightening your hair every month. Okay? You're welcome, Rochelle. All right, let me go back to the questions, see who I missed. How do you flat twist? I can't get it right. Okay, Judy, that's going to require a tutorial. And I'm not doing a tutorial tonight, but I will do one. Since you're asking. I haven't flat twisted in a while, but I'm pretty good at it. I'm actually I'm not an amazing braider, but I'm pretty good at flat twisting. I've done some flat twist styles before. I know they're on our YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com/Naturalicious Beauty, you should find it. However, it's been a minute, so I'll go ahead and I'll do one, within the next, few days or a week or so. Just to show you how I flat twist. But yeah, I will tell you though, flat twisting takes practice. It's not something you're going to be able, if you don't know how to do it, it's not something you're going to be able to do like that. You're not going to watch a tutorial and all of a sudden be able to flat twist. It's not going to happen. You literally have to practice at it if you want to be able to do it. So yeah, it's just like French braiding, except you're using 2 strands instead of 3. But it does take practice. And, I just want to caveat that, because so many people think like, I can't flat twist, teach me how to flat twist. And then you show them and then they're like, oh, but I still can't flat twist. It's like, because you got to practice it. Like you don't learn how to ride a bike just by riding it once. You got to get on, you fall off, and you scuff your knee, you get back on, and you keep going until you get it. And eventually, after a few tries, you get it and you're riding the bike, and you're a master bike rider. But it's just like that. So don't expect like to see this tutorial I'm going to do for you, Judy, and then, become a flat twisting master. You are going to have to practice. Okay. Let's see. Sandra says, the middle of my head has drier texture. What can I do? Sandra, we one in the same, boo. We the same. We're here because I have the same problem. My hair up here is like the dry Sahara Desert area of my head, whereas the rest of my hair is dry as well, but it doesn't get as dry as quickly. So I have to make a more conscientious effort in order to make sure that this part of my head stays hydrated longer. So I'm not sure how long you've been watching Real Hair Revelation, Sandra, but what I always say is that it's not about how much you moisturize at one time. It's about how often you're doing it, like the frequency of how often you're doing it. So you want to make sure that you are moisturizing that section of your hair in particular every single day. Now, if the rest of your hair is kind of like mine, where it kind of maintains the moisture a little bit longer, then you may be able to moisturize, like say around here, maybe like every day or every other day, but you really want to put your attention and your focus in the center of your head. Now, Sandra, if you are also like me, you probably notice that in the winter time, like around right now, your hair, that part of your head is even drier than it normally is, right? Because there's no humidity in the air to keep our hair hydrated. So that part that's normally drier is way drier in the winter. And so it's like the problem child. It's like, what can I do to keep this moisturized? So what I'm going to suggest for you is, one, to make sure that you are spending more time focusing on that section of your hair along with the rest of your hair as well, but you really, really want to focus on that area. Don't neglect it. It's so easy to neglect that area because it's like the part we don't see. Like if I'm looking at myself in the mirror right now, I can see the front, I can see the sides, I can see the bottoms, but I don't see the top unless I'm literally going like this, and even then I don't see it per se. And then the back part tends to get neglected too. So we have to be very intentional about those sections of your hair. I do want to give you kudos though for recognizing that you have a section of your hair that requires more work, because so many people don't pay attention to their hair. They don't listen to their hair. So you are already doing a great thing by saying, okay, I recognize that this section is different than the rest of my hair, and there's something that I need to do differently. So kudos to you and anybody else who knows that about their hair. That is a huge step because so many people don't. So that's really, really good. The other thing I want you to do is to make sure that you are doing hot oil treatments and deep conditioning treatments. If you're using the Naturalicious, you can deep condition and hot oil treat at the same time using step 1 and step 3. And if you've never seen the tutorial on how to do that, just go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Naturalicious Beauty. And there are tutorials on how to do both of those together. It saves you so much time because you can do both at the same time, and it's a super deep hydrating deep conditioning and hot oil treatment, which will help to that moisture to be retained longer in your hair. Okay. Yulene says, is shampoo with apple cider vinegar good for your hair? I need a little bit more elaboration with that, Yulene. So I'm going to tell you to answer what I think you're asking. Because I'm not quite sure what you're asking, but I'm going to answer it. And then you let me know if I answered it. Okay? So let's do that. So apple cider vinegar rinses are great for your hair. However, apple cider is very acidic and our hair is very alkaline. So if you pour straight up apple cider vinegar on your hair and don't dilute it, you are going to screw up the pH balance of your hair, which can result in a lot of brittleness, really weird wiry texture like things happening to your hair. You don't want that to happen. Apple cider vinegar is perfectly amazing for your hair. It's a wonderful and probably the absolute best type of clarifying treatment. But again, anything in excess is not necessarily good. And so if you don't dilute the apple cider vinegar rinse, you run the risk of screwing up the pH balance of your hair, which again can have split ends, shedding, all kinds of stuff you don't want. So what you want to do is you want to dilute it. I always suggest 6 parts water to 1 part apple cider vinegar. You can dilute it 4 parts to 1 part, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I say 6 parts to 1 part. So 6 parts of water to 1 part of apple cider vinegar. You don't need a ton of apple cider vinegar to make this do what it do. Okay. I would not suggest mixing shampoo and apple cider vinegar together, which if that's what you're asking, I don't suggest you do that. I suggest you wash your hair first. You always want to do any kind of treatment on your hair, no matter what kind of treatment it is. You always do it on a clean scalp. So you're going to shampoo your hair first. If you're using step 1 in the Naturalicious system, you're going to just wash your hair with step 1, rinse that out, and then you will proceed to the apple cider vinegar rinse and do a diluted apple cider vinegar rinse. Again, 1 part apple cider vinegar to 6 parts water. If you do that, you will find that those curls, baby, they going to be popping, because you have literally just removed all the invisible buildup that's been sitting on your hair for who knows how long, sometimes weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years if you've never done the apple cider vinegar rinse. But you will notice that your hair will be so much more shiny. It'll, like, the curls will just, you'll be having curls that you didn't even know existed because you have removed all the stuff that's been invisible to your eye, but it's been sitting on your hair, weighing your hair down, making it dull, preventing the light from reflecting, being shiny, and all those things that we want. But you only want to do this about once a month. Maximum twice a month if you are doing like a lot of gels and heavy creams and things like that on your hair. But I'm going to tell you once a month to be safe, because again, apple cider vinegar is acidic. If you do it too often and too much at once, you'll find that you can mess up your pH balance, and we don't want that. I hope that answers your question. Let me know in the comments if it did. Okay. LaDon, my DT. My Detroit girl says, when is a protein treatment necessary? I've never done one. Well, Adon, protein treatments are, first of all, let me say protein treatments aren't necessarily required. They're just very highly encouraged. So if you've never done one, that's probably okay. Your hair is pretty healthy looking. I mean, I've never touched it, never seen it in real life, but from all the pictures I've ever seen, your hair looks very healthy. It looks very full of curls and volume and all that sort of thing. So you might be okay, but I suggest doing a protein treatment once a month. And the reason I suggest doing it is because our hair is literally made of protein. And so we have to add things to it in order to help it to maintain itself. You have to remember, our hair, once it actually grows outside of our scalp, is technically dead. Like, there's no veins running through it. There's no nerves running through it. There's nothing going through it that helps it like repair itself or stay nice or any of that. So we always have to do stuff to it in order for it to be able to, like, topically, in order for it to be able to like thrive, right? That's why we moisturize regularly. This is why we deep condition. This is why we do hot oil treatments, all that kind of stuff, right? So for you, or for anyone, honestly, a protein treatment, if you're going to do one, I suggest doing it once a month. My favorite protein treatment ever is an egg yolk. I suggest an egg yolk. Yes, it's a little messy, but honestly, it's the best one that you're going to get. It doesn't have to be messy. When I do it, it's not messy anymore. It used to be messy when I didn't quite have like the hang of it, but it's not really messy for me anymore. And I just add it into my regular monthly routine. It's not something I do every week. I do it about every 4 to 6 weeks though. And it just keeps my hair really strong. If you ever want to do some sort of versatile thing with your hair where you're going to straighten it, straightening your hair with heat tends to, it doesn't always cause damage, but heat can be damaging. And so one of the things I always suggest to people who like to straighten their hair, because I'm all for whatever you want to do to your hair, you should do it. You should just prepare your hair to be able to handle whatever it is you're going to be doing to it. I suggest that they do protein treatments as well, because it will help to strengthen it and prevent it from breaking. So Ladon, it's not necessarily required for you to do it, but I know that it can help. I do know Erica, she's still here. She was doing protein treatments for a while and then stopped, and she noticed that she had some thinning in the front of her hair, started doing the protein treatment again, and all of a sudden the thinning stopped. So that can help as well. Now, again, LaDon, if you're not experiencing any of that, you don't necessarily have to do it. I don't believe in just doing stuff just for the sake of doing stuff. So you may not need it, but it is highly encouraged, and you could do them once a month. Your hair will also, if you do it in conjunction, like with the apple cider vinegar rinse, like around the same time, like say, you do one week and the other the next week, you'll notice like your hair, your curls will actually be they'll be like incredibly springy, like amazing, like going boing, like they will do so many amazing, wonderful things. But again, don't feel like you have to do this. If you're getting amazing results from whatever you're already doing, look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But if you just want to experiment and see, I would suggest doing it with the yolk of the egg. Do not use the white of the egg. The yolk of the egg is the part of the egg that actually adds moisture to our hair. Our hair is dry, so we need moisture added to it. The white of the egg, however, actually removes moisture. So people who have naturally oily hair, they would use the yolk of the egg because it removes moisture. You don't want to use the whole egg. You don't want to use the white of the egg. You only want to use the yolk. Someone's going to ask, well, how many yolks should I use? It really depends on how much hair you have. I think I use 3, and I just beat them up, and then I just put it on my hair. And I put a plastic shower cap on, and I sit around for like 20 minutes. And then I rinse it out with cold water. Don't rinse that baby out with hot water because you're going to have fried egg on your head, and you don't want that. So make sure that you are rinsing with cold water, as cold as you can take it. Okay? Kiana says, what's the best products for low porosity hair? So Kiana, I'm going to invite you to go to our website and take a quiz. The quiz can be found on the website. The website is naturalicious.net. And actually, you can get directly to the quiz simply by going to bit.ly/hair-type-quiz. That's bit.ly/hair-type-quiz. Go there, take the quiz. It's only 3 questions. It'll ask you, a couple questions, 3 questions about your hair. It'll literally take you less than 3 minutes to take the quiz. Once you do that, it will tell you everything you ever wanted to know about your hair type, as well as the porosity and what's all necessary for porosity, low porosity hair or high porosity hair if you take the quiz and find out you have high porosity hair. But since you already know you have low porosity hair, you'll probably get the results that say low porosity, and it'll tell you literally everything you ever possibly want to know will be on that answer page for the quiz. So I invite you to go take that. If you're looking specifically for Naturalicious products, most people who have low porosity hair are using the Naturalicious purple line, which is the tight coils and curls line that's specifically designed for more tightly coiled hair, which tends to be lower porosity. So in our line, it will be the tight curls and coils line. Charlene says, is it possible that protein treatment does not work for all hair? Nothing works for all hair. So nothing is going to work for every single person. So yes, Charlene, it's absolutely possible, however rare, because our hair is made of protein. So I would first look at what it is that you're using as your protein treatment. Are you using an egg yolk? Are you using something that you bought from the store? If it's something that you bought from the store, what's in that? What are the ingredients in that product? Are they conducive to your hair type? They may or may not be. So it is very possible that protein will not work for all hair, but again, extremely rare, simply because our hair is made of protein, and so it kind of needs protein in order to thrive. So I would first take a look at what I'm using. There are some products that will say they're protein treatments, and they don't have that much protein in them at all. It's literally just a marketing ploy. That's all it is. There's a lot of stuff that will say it's protein treatment. It's got like this much protein in it. If you're using an egg, what part of the egg are you using? So that's to be considered as well. So I would take a look at that first. And maybe if we have time, if you drop it below, I can try to assess that for you while we're here live. Okay? Tamara, my girl, are you working on any new products? Hint, hint, bonnets and scarves. So, Tamara, we kind of have something coming in December, kind of, sort of, for one of the 12 days of Christmas. So 12 days of Christmas is coming. Black Friday's coming. Y'all can't wait till Black Friday. It's going to be so cool. But we have a different thing for you guys for 12 days of Christmas. Y'all already know we show up and show out for 12 days of Christmas at Naturalicious. So one of the 12 days will be something like a bonnet or scarf, but not quite a bonnet or scarf. But it'll be something like in the vein of that. So for one of the 12 days, we'll have one of those. And I can't tell y'all what it is yet, because we haven't gotten to it yet. But yes, be on the lookout for that. And I'm not sure if it's going to be a limited time offer where we'll only offer it that day, or if it's something that we'll offer like ongoingly. But as of right now, it's just going to be offered that one day. So make sure that you are keeping an eye on your email and an eye on your text messages and your Facebook DMs and all that kind of stuff, because we're going to let y'all know what's coming. Okay? Let's see. Shalencia says, do you think it's possible for texture to change based on hormones? I really feel like mine has changed, but I'm also taking better care of it, so that could be it. Absolutely. Hair texture can change definitely based on hormones when someone's pregnant and had a baby, which I know you had one not too long ago. I think it's been a year or two now, right? It can also change during menopause time, which I know you're not, at the age of menopause, but for anyone who's watching, it can change during those times. Hair texture can actually also change due to stress. There's people who have had an extreme amount of stress, and they find that their hair texture just seems to be different. So when you say your hair texture is different, you said you're taking better care of it. So I'm wondering if that means that your hair texture is improving, or you feel like your texture's for the better. Maybe it's not the texture changing. It could literally just be the overall moisture retention in your hair that's improving. I'm not quite sure, but it sounds like, just based upon the context of what you said, that whatever it is, you're not mad at what's happening. So if so, that's a great thing. But yes, absolutely, hair texture can for sure change based on hormones. It's also been known to change, like when someone is on birth control. Let's say they don't even have a baby or haven't had a baby, but they're just on birth control. And depending on the birth control, method, it can actually change so much in their bodies, and ultimately change their hair texture as well. So yes, absolutely, you're not crazy. You're not far off. That's absolutely something that can happen. Amina says, I'm sure you already talked about this before, but what are your thoughts on doing deep conditioning overnight, good or bad? So, I have deep conditioned overnight before. I don't see a problem with it. I've seen some people say it's not good. They don't really always have a good reason why though. I've seen people say, well, you're going to have like wet hair all night. If you have a shower cap on, it should be a problem. But remember, anything you do to your hair is less about the amount you do at one time and more about the frequency at which you do it, right? So the analogy that I always give is if you are working out and trying to trying to eat healthy and diet and exercise and all that, right? If you go to the gym and you work out, you have 5 hours in a week available to you to work out. If you work out for 5 days for an hour each, that's 5 hours. Or you can go to the gym and you can work out for 1 day for 5 hours. It's the same amount of time, but we all know that the first option is going to give you better results because you're being more consistent with it over time. And so, sure, you can deep condition your hair overnight. It's not going to cause you any problems, provided that you're using a product that's healthy and has good ingredients for your hair. Shouldn't cause you too much of a problem. However, if you do that 1 day and then you don't deep condition again for another 3 months, then it didn't really do you that much good. However, if you deep condition every time you wash your hair, let's say you wash your hair every 7 days and you don't deep condition overnight, you only deep condition for, let's say, 30 minutes, then you'll actually get better results because you're being consistent with it over time as opposed to just doing a big kind of like haul, with deep conditioning all at once. So deep conditioning overnight is not a bad thing, but it's not nearly as good as deep conditioning for shorter periods of time more consistently. Does that make sense? Let me know. Let's see. Judy says, video keeps freezing. Video and talking are off. If anyone else is having that issue, let me know. Latanya says, my hang time is obsolete. So what do you think about the non-chemical express keratin complex treatment? I was told it helps with loosening curls, but it don't mess up natural, but it doesn't mess up natural textures. Excuse me. What are your thoughts? I'm not a fan of keratin at all. Not a fan of keratin at all. Keratin is a chemical. Even if it says non-chemical, it still has some sort of chemical in it. Sometimes people will call it like amino acids or whatever. But in order for your hair texture to change in any sort of way, there has to be a chemical involved. Whether it's a strong chemical or a weak chemical, there still is a chemical. So let's not get confused, right? I was having a conversation recently, and we were talking about the words that we choose. We were talking about how people, I think it was with the Ultimate Claymates when they came and they won. I think it was Amina, Sabrina, and Erica when they came, and we were talking about the words that we choose to talk about things, especially when it comes to our hair. And I was specifically talking about when people say heat training, right? Heat training, you can call it heat training, you can call it heat damage. Potato, but it's heat damage, right? If you straighten your hair with heat to the point, not saying you're doing this, Latanya, I'm just using this as an example. If you straighten your hair with heat to a point where the curl pattern is no longer there and it's straight, or it has straightened out or loosened, that is, you have literally damaged the core of the curl so much so that it doesn't revert back to a curl once it's straight. It doesn't do that anymore. That is damage. However you want to spin it, if people want to make themselves feel better by saying heat trained, great, whatever. Maybe that's the look they're going for. That's all good. But let's call a spade and an ace a ace, right? It is heat damage. So in this case, LaTanya, there is no, remember, our hair doesn't have any nerves or, nerves or blood vessels or anything running through it to prevent, to repair itself once the core of it has been broken down. So when you're using heat, like I was just talking about, and it straightens it out, you've literally broken down the bonds of the core of your hair. In this case with keratin, whether they say it's non-chemical or whatever, you're doing something that's breaking down the bonds so that it doesn't spring up so much. And if that's what you want, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm not like a natural hair Nazi, whatever. If you want to do that to your hair, great. I get that you want to have more hang time, but do understand that there is a chemical involved. It may not be as strong as the normal keratin treatment, but there's absolutely a chemical involved. So, I've actually personally never done it. I don't know if it messes up natural hair texture. I will say, however, that there was a product, I can't remember the brand name, a couple years ago, and I've talked about this before, where they had a non-chemical box product. You could buy it in the stores, and it was like this big rate. Everybody was, all excited about it because supposedly it used amino acids, and you could put this product on your hair. It was supposed to straighten your hair naturally for 6 weeks at a time, and then once you washed your hair after those 6 weeks, it was supposed to revert back to curly. And so they got all these influencers into it, and everybody was all excited about it. It was all over Instagram and all over the internet. And in my mind, me being like the hair expert that I am, I was like, this stuff ain't gonna work. This is not going to revert people's hair back. People's hair gonna be damaged. If it do revert, it ain't gonna revert all the way. Nobody believed me. I was a hater. Okay, 6 weeks came and went. People's hair was messed up. People were not able to get their curls back the way that they wanted to be, and that product is no longer on the market. They discontinued it because they had so many complaints about it. They were literally giving the stuff away at the World Natural Hair Expo because they wanted so many people to get into it. And people were just thrilled and excited about the thought of being able to straighten their hair for 6 weeks without damage. It's not possible without some kind of chemical. Now, they can market it and say it's amino acids. They can market it and say it's not chemicals. But it's a chemical. It has to be. There's no way for your hair to break down the bonds of the hair to break down and not revert back without a chemical being involved. So again, LaTanya, I'm not sure. I've actually personally never used it myself, but I just want you to be careful about them saying that it's non-chemical, because what I don't want for you is for you to try it and then, because I'm assuming you like your curls, you just want more like volume, right? And you want more like hang time, like you said. So what I don't want for you is for you to use it, get the result that you want in the immediate sense, and then go to try and like do your hair later on and then realize it's not coiling back up. If you don't mind the coils being gone, that's cool. Just understand what you might be getting yourself into. That's all. So I hope that answers your question, or at least gave you something to think about. Amina was talking to LaDawn about the protein treatment. She said, Gwen will probably address this, but I strongly feel that this is one of the things I've done this year that has improved the look and shine of my hair the most. Yay! Real talk. Can't wait to do it again. Yeah. So again, the protein treatments, they're not necessarily required, but they are, like I said, highly, highly, highly encouraged. They do give a lot of shine to your hair. They tend to make your hair a lot stronger, especially if you're doing them consistently. About once a month is perfectly okay. You don't really need to do them more than that. I wouldn't suggest doing them every wash day. Once a month is perfect. Again, anything in excess is probably too much. Just like the apple cider vinegar rinse, you don't want to do it too often. You can actually experience protein overload if you do them too often. And protein overload is like the reverse effect of what you want. So it will like make the hair strand sometimes so taut that it breaks really easily if you do protein treatments too often. So once a month is perfectly fine, LaDawn, if you're going to do that. LaTanya was talking to, I think someone responding to whomever asked about the trimming. She said, if you trim if you trim while curly, you will look crazy when you want to straighten it. Team all uneven, in the words of Gwen. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Like, it's going to probably look weird when you do straighten it. But again, some people say that they can they can trim curly hair. I don't suggest it. That's just me. Eva says, will we get a Black Friday preview? So, Eva coming with the question. Okay, so you guys will get a Black Friday preview. I'm not quite sure what day that's coming. If you are if you are one of our top 10% of our customers, you'll probably get a preview a little bit sooner. But the nation will, I think, get it first. So the nation will know about the Black Friday preview. I'm trying to think what day. I don't know what day, but you guys will know before the rest of the email list. And actually, you guys will have access to the Black Friday deal before everybody else. Right? Because, I always try to make sure the nation's taken care of. Because once it goes out on the email list, everything sells out. So try to make sure that y'all know what's happening beforehand, so you all can get in and get the hookup, and then everybody else can get it afterwards. So yes, keep an eye on your for the nation in particular, for the preview. This will not go out through email. The preview won't go through email. The preview will be in the nation. So make sure you are paying attention in the nation. I don't want nobody saying they didn't know. Because this is what y'all do to me every time. Not you, Eva, but every time. They be like, well, I didn't know this sale was coming up. I'm like, I've been talking about this for 2 weeks. I told y'all it was coming. No, the deal ended 2 days ago. No, you can't come 2 weeks later asking for the deal. The deal's, we don't even have no more. We're all sold out. So make sure that you are paying attention to the nation, which most of y'all who are here are always paying attention. I'm really saying this for everyone who's not here, who isn't paying attention. But yes, there will be a preview. And you guys will get the deal first before everyone else. So make sure you stay tuned and stay close to your phones and computers. Okay. Rosalind said, today was my watch day. I did a 2-strand twist. I really like the products. Yay! So happy to hear that, Rosalind, and thank you and welcome to our crew. Hey Lee, what's up, girl? Let's see, what else? Ashley Nicole Tripp with the Rapunzel hair says, is daily scalp massaging and twists harmful to hair? Is there a way to fight frizz and twists and still oil and moisturize daily? So daily scalp massaging and twists is not harmful to the hair. No. So that part is easy to answer. No, it's not harmful to the hair. Scalp massaging is great. It actually helps to stimulate blood flow at the scalp. You want to use the palms, like the pads of your fingers instead of your nails. If you have long nails like I do, you want to use the pads of your fingers, okay, to massage. But yes, that's actually great for your hair. Is there a way to fight frizz and twists and still oil and moisturize daily? So, Ashley, I'm going to suggest that you get a nozzle tip. You can find them, just go on Amazon and search nozzle top or nozzle screw top, and just add that to your bottle of oil. And that way you can part your hair easily and use that nozzle to get right up onto that scalp for the oil, if that's what you're trying to do. That's what I would suggest to be able to, if you want to oil your scalp. Now, if you want to moisturize your hair specifically, have you tried the open palm method that I've shown? If not, I would suggest doing that. So the open palm method is what I use to keep my twist outs, for days and days and days and days. But it actually also helps me to prevent the frizz and the lack of curl definition that often comes when people try to make their hair last multiple days. So I would definitely suggest the open palm method for you. You can also try to take since your hair is going to be in twists, you can also take moisturizer and almost literally kind of squeeze it onto your hair. Imagine my hair's in twists. You could literally just kind of take the moisturizer and squeeze it on, and that way that'll be able to get the hair moisturized as well. So those are a couple ways that you can do it. But yeah, definitely try the nozzle tip if you're trying to, do the scalp massage with the oil thing. Let's see. Rodana says, hey Gwen, how do we avoid fairy knots when taking out a twist out? Girl, that's a good question. So if you are doing hot oil treatments on a regular basis, regular meaning every time you wash your hair, you shouldn't experience any fairy knots. So fairy knots are really the result of hair being dry or split at the ends and kind of coiling around each other. Think of it almost like an ingrown hair, but just like ingrown around each other, so to speak. Like it's literally just coiling around. Like when you have an ingrown hair, like the hair like curls back into your skin. Happens a lot when shaving. So it's kind of like the same thing. Like the hair at the ends will like coil back, and that's how the knots get formed. And so the first way to make sure that you don't have the fairy knots is by trimming. Make sure you have no split ends, right? Because split ends are usually the culprit of fairy knots. So make sure you don't have any split ends. So that means you have to go get it trimmed or trim it yourself. And if that's not the case, if split ends aren't an issue, then you need to make sure you're doing a hot oil treatment every time you wash your hair, which is every 7 to 10 days. And then you should experience no more fairy knots. That should get rid of them. Hey, Deshaun. Phyllis says, I've been using the almond regrowth oil on my edges. My question is, can I use it all over without clogging my pores? Yes. That was the easy one. Yes, you can. Erica says, when exactly do you use the hydration mist? I'm almost positive I'm using it wrong, but it works for me. So if it works for you, why do you think you're using it wrong? I'm just curious, Erica. If it's working for you, if it's working for you, it sounds like you're using it right. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Me, personally, I don't use the mist as much as my son uses it. So he uses it in the morning. So he will mist his hair with water. Then if you've ever seen, we've done a tutorial how he does his hair, but he'll mist his hair with water. Then he'll mist it with the hydration mist. And then after that, he'll put in step 2, pick it out with a pick, and then put the gel on and then do the sponge thing to create the curls. That's how he uses it. There's really no right or wrong way to use the hair mist. Some people use it literally just for refreshing. So like if they've been wearing their hair for a few days and it looks dull and lifeless and just needs like a pick-me-up, they'll use it for that. Other people literally use it as a leave-in conditioner. So some people, you know how step 1 has like the leave-in conditioning part of it already built in. Some people they just really need a leave-in. Like they just feel so weird not doing a leave-in conditioner because they're so accustomed to it. So they'll take the hair mist and use it because it literally is a conditioning agent and can be used as a leave-in conditioner. So sometimes they'll use it like that. Other people will use it like my son uses it. He'll use it to like kind of set his hair up for the moisturizing and the gel and all that kind of stuff. So there's no wrong way to use it. And if what you're doing is working, girl, it sounds like you already using it in a right way. So again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't think you're using it wrong. I'm curious to know how you are using it. So feel free to let us know below, but I think that you're probably okay. Veronica, what do you use for daily moisturizing and how do you wrap it at night? Girl, I just talked about that. When? Not that long ago. But I will tell you, Veronica, that is actually, since we're talking about Black Friday, that actually is a part of the Black Friday offer, Black Friday deal. And that part is actually free. So, yeah. If you can probably search our Facebook page, because I know I've done a nighttime routine. Also our Instagram, it's on there. I've done a nighttime routine before that I literally did step by step and showed you how to do it. How I do mine. And for daily moisturizing, I use step 2, which is the Moisture Infusion Styling Cream that Naturalicious makes. So the Moisture Infusion Styling Cream, step 2 in our line, is what I use daily for my hair. I do a method that I coined the open palm method that a lot of the claymates tend to use. And that helps me to be able to make my hair last, at least 7 to 10 days. Last time I did my twist out, it actually lasted for me 14 days. And the only reason it didn't last longer than 14 days was because it was time for me to wash my hair. And so I probably could have gotten at least another 5 days out of it. but that is what I do. And I don't retwist my hair. I don't do anything special to it. I literally just do the open palm method with step 2. And that keeps my hair and my coils continuously, perfect until it's time for me to wash it out. But yeah, check that out. You'll see that. But again, since we're talking about the Black Friday preview, actually you guys are going to get a training for the nighttime routine, because like a literally like step-by-step kind of thing. And then, there's also a training on, another training on the open palm method, as well as some more, like a whole bunch of other like bonuses and freebies and stuff that y'all get for the Black Friday deal. So I'm super excited about the Black Friday deal, and I really wish I could tell y'all everything that's in it right now. But just know that it's a lot that you're getting for like nothing. Well, obviously it's gonna cost something, but it's like almost like $100 off. Like it's a crazy amount off that you're getting. It's a really good Black Friday deal. It's probably the best Black Friday deal I've ever done. It literally is like $100 off the normal price. It's crazy. So anyway, y'all are going to love me when I'm able to drop it for you. Let's see. More questions. Let's see. I see a lot of people talking about. Erica said you use 8 egg yolks. Girl, why you use 8 egg yolks? You ain't need that many egg yolks. I mean, you can use as many egg yolks as you want to for the protein treatment, but you don't need to use 8 eggs, girl. You could probably get away with 3. I used to use 5. I will say that. I used to use 5. Actually, when my hair was shorter, I used 5. But that's because I really wasn't good yet at like distributing it. Now I figured out like what really works well for me and being able to distribute it around my hair and get it all in without having to use a ton of eggs. But yeah, you don't need to use 8 eggs, girl. And you could probably use 5. Or you don't have to like use all of the, like if you were to crack 8 eggs, you don't have to use all 8, right? You're going to beat it up together, but you may have some left over. Don't feel like you have to use up the whole thing. Remember, it's not necessarily about how much you do at one time. It's about how frequently you're doing it, right? So if you're doing a protein treatment once a month consistently, you're going to get better results than if you just do them once every blue moon and you do a whole lot at once, okay? Jasmine says, deep condition, hot oil treatment, ACV wash, protein treatments. How many of these can be mixed in the same wash day? This is a great question, Jasmine. So, deep conditioning and hot oil treatment can be done together, absolutely, every time with anything else. ACV rinse and protein treatments, I would suggest that you separate them if you're doing them all the time anyway, right? So if you're consistently doing an apple cider vinegar rinse and consistently doing protein treatments, I would suggest that you do those on opposing wash, on different wash days. However, if you are if you're coming out of a protective style that you've been wearing for 6 weeks to 8 weeks or something like that, and you haven't done either, at that point it's okay to do them all at one time, because you haven't been doing them. But if you're regularly washing your hair, because you haven't washed your hair, so you're going to need to wash your hair, you're going to need to deep condition, you're going to need to hot oil treat because you haven't been able to wash your hair. You're going to need to get all that buildup out from the apple cider vinegar rinse, and you're probably going to need to strengthen your hair because it's been stretched, because it's been a protective style for so long. So in that case, it's okay to do it all at once. However, if you are doing this again on a regular, if you're washing your hair every week, doing, the ACVs and all that kind of stuff, I wouldn't suggest doing them on the same wash day. Definitely pick one time to do the ACV wash and another time to do the protein treatment. But deep conditioning and hot oil treatments, you can do those every single time, every single wash, no matter what. Let's see. Gwen, Ashanti, hey Ashanti, another D-Town girl, says, Gwen, do you think that less manipulation to your hair helps you grow? Absolutely. Absolutely. Leave your hair alone if you want it to grow. I remember when I went into my last like long-term protective style, y'all were like, when I came out, y'all were like, your hair grows so much. And that's because it had been literally in a protective style for like almost a year, right? Which prevented me from being able to manipulate it. I know our hair, because it's coarse a lot of times, it feels like it can take a lot, but our hair is actually one of the most fragile hair types on the planet, right? And so it breaks easily because it's dry, right? Because it's naturally dry. We have to do more to keep it from, being dry. Dryness leads to all the things that we hate. Dryness leads to breakage and brittleness and shedding and split ends and all those kind of things. So the less you are manipulating your hair, the more you will find that it will grow. Absolutely. So if you are going to do a protective style, like I did faux locks for a year, but I didn't. Let me caveat this, because I don't want nobody to be thinking I wore the same locks for a whole year. I did not do that. I wore my locks for 4 weeks at a time, took 3 to 4 weeks at a time, took them out, washed my hair, did all my treatments to it, put them back in maybe like a week and a half later. So I was kind of in and out of them for the course of a year. And my hair got so thick, got so much longer, and it was because I was not manipulating my hair. We can buy all the pills in the world, all the hair affinities, all the vitamins, all that stuff, but nothing is going to work as good as if you just leave your hair alone. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone and it will do its thing. It will grow. This is why you see so many celebrities that are normally wearing wigs and weaves. And when they actually wear their real hair, it's so long and you're like, oh my gosh, I know she had all that hair hiding underneath that wig. That's because they're very rarely manipulating their hair. They always have on a wig. Like Nicki Minaj, it's a perfect example. Nicki Minaj got hair down to her waist, but she's always wearing a wig. She's always, got something on her hair protecting her hair. Now that leave out part is a little different story because that part is being manipulated. So the part of the weave that's being left out and blended in with the rest of the weave, that part's broken off. That part's, shorter than the rest, but the rest of her hair that's protected is very long. And it's because she's not doing anything to her hair almost ever. I'm not suggesting that you become Nicki Minaj and that you go out and get a weave and all that kind of stuff. But I just use that to illustrate the fact that, yes, Ashanti, you are right on target. The less manipulation to your hair that you do, the more it will grow. Absolutely. Absolutely. I had a friend when I was working in corporate. She always she had super long hair. She had like the coarsest hair I ever seen. But her hair, she always wore her hair like in a bun. It was always in a bun or it was always up. She never really wore it down. And the few times that she wore it down, I was so surprised because her hair was so long. And she was just like, I just don't do anything to it. I just leave it up. And that's why it's growing like this. And so, yes, if you want it to grow, keep your hands out of it. Yes. Leave it alone so it can grow. Samira said, take my money now. I got you on Black Friday. Melissa said, hey, Gwen, do you use egg yolks or egg whites or egg yolks in your hair? I just use the egg yolk. The egg yolk will add moisture to your hair, whereas the egg yolk will remove moisture to your hair. And I do not use the whole egg, only the egg yolk. Gwen, I love your name. Your name is so pretty, girl. She said, yay, I can't wait for Black Friday. Me neither. Black Friday's going to be dope. Yes, I do remember Shalencia. Yes, I do remember Luna was a newbie to the world. She just turned 2. Aw, she's super cute. Erica said, the t-shirt towel changed my life. Now, if I can get the Naturalicious t-shirt towel. Well, you know how Tamara was asking about like bonnets or whatever, and I was like, if you wait for 12 days of Christmas, that may be one of the deals. The t-shirt towel may be one of the deals for 12 days of Christmas also. And maybe one of the daily deals. I'm just saying it might be. I'm not saying it is, but it might be. It might be. So, again, keep an eye. We always show up around this time of year and we like really, really do it up. And I'm going to tell you, every time we launch the t-shirt towels, y'all get so mad at me because they sell out every time. I don't know who be buying all these towels, but some of y'all got like 10 t-shirt towels. Like, seriously. Every time we always have about 500 to 1,000 at a time. And every time they sell out in just a few weeks. We're only going to have a very limited amount for if we even offer it, which we might, during 12 Days of Christmas, we're only gonna have a very small amount. So I'm telling you, if you want a t-shirt towel, you better keep an eye on your emails and your texts and your Facebook DMs and all that kind of stuff, because they are going to sell out. Every single time we have t-shirt towels, they sell out. We cannot keep them in stock. It's so hard to keep them in stock. And then you guys know, when we have them, they be gone for like 3-4 months at a time. So if you want one, make sure that you keep your eyes on 12 Days of Christmas, which starts December 6th, by the way. You're welcome, Amina. Hey, Lisa. Donna says, the Naturalicious towel is excellent. Yay! Beverly says, I like to have a t-shirt towel too. Sweet. Erica says, oh, you are all off. I can't watch the video because it's so off. Can only listen. That's so weird. It looks perfectly normal to me. So I'm sorry that it's not cooperating. I can't see that. So I don't even know how to fix it. But hopefully if you all can hear me, then it's all good. And yeah, Eva says that having issues with comments sticking. That's so strange. I don't know what's going on. Some people says it's fine. Michelle said it's fine for her. Phil said video's off. Amina says the video's a bit messed up earlier, but it came back on, but it's back on time for me now. I don't know. Hey, Bridget. Jewel says it's fine for her. Beverly says video's working. All right, so it's mixed reviews about this video. So if you're having issues, try to maybe hop out of the video and then come back in, and maybe it will fix itself for you. Erica says, now that I'm getting out of my hair's way and doing as I should, my curls and definition are amazing. Yes! Even my front is not being ignorant these days. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I always say, and y'all who are OGs know I've said this before, 50% of how your hair acts and performs has to do with you and what you have been doing or not doing for the past 3 to 6 months. So however much care or lack thereof you've been giving it, that's the majority of how your hair acts and performs. It has nothing to do with product, has nothing to do with technique. That is the majority of it. Now, 25% of what your hair does has to do with product, and the other 25% is technique. But the majority is what you have or have not been doing. Have you been doing your protein treatments? Have you been doing your deep conditionings? Have you been keeping your hair trimmed? Have you been sleeping on a satin pillowcase with a silk bonnet? All that kind of stuff. Have you been doing these things? Because if you haven't, you can have the best twist out technique in the world. You can have the most amazing products ever created. God could have create those products himself. If you are not doing your part, you ain't gonna see the results that you want. So I'm so proud of you, Erica. So proud of you for getting out of your hair's way, as you said, and doing what you should be doing. And all of you who are doing what you should be doing, I'm so proud of you. And those of you who are not, you know who you are. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, just get back on track. It's okay. If you fall off, no worries. Just get back on and do your thing. And you will find that your hair and your curls and your definition will just be off the charts. It will be amazing. Okay, Erica says she closed out and came back in. Everything's okay. Cool. Am I the only natural that doesn't want volume? My head is too big, says Erica. You might be the only natural that don't want volume, because when I asked that question yesterday about what was one of the biggest frustrations about people with their twist outs, one of the biggest things that they say is that they don't get any volume, which is another reason why I'm so excited about Black Friday, because I'm going to show y'all how you get the volume with your twist outs. I'm going to show you that. So all of you who are frustrated and confused about, my twist outs don't come out right, and I never get it's always frizzy, it doesn't last past day 2, I can't get any volume. I got you. Like you are going to love me. If you don't already love me, you're going to love me even more. I'm telling you, you're going to love this Black Friday deal. And like I told you, it's like literally $100 off. So it's going to be cool. Super dope. I got really excited about it last night. I was up, I couldn't even sleep last night. I was so excited about it because, I'm always trying to find ways to solve your guys' challenges and issues and frustrations. And those of you who have been here for a while, you know that. So it's like when I saw all the frustration, especially when y'all tell me what your frustrations are, my mind immediately goes into, okay, how can I serve them? What can I do for them? What can I create for them that's going to like solve this problem? And so I get really excited about that kind of stuff. So I was up all night, like thinking about like how we were going to like fix that problem for y'all. So I'm really excited about what's coming up. Latanya says, do we have a price range for the 32 ounce number 2 for the holidays? I'm getting my coins together because from the last number 1 gallon sale, I still have half left. I don't know the price honestly yet for the 32 ounces of the cream. I don't know that yet on the time. We're still trying to work those things out. 12 days, that will be available for 12 days of Christmas. 12 days of Christmas starts December 6th and it ends December 17th. There's a different deal every single day, along with one continuous deal that we will have for the whole time. So it's a different deal every day, plus that one big deal, this one big bundle that we're going to have. So we have not figured out the price of that yet. But when I know it, I'll let you know. But I would suggest that you all definitely save up your glam points. Definitely want to save up your glam points. And you also, if you don't have as many glam points, you probably want to place some orders now so you can get some glam points, so that you have them available to use for these two big offers that we have coming up, because you're going to want them. And of course, Afterpay is always available. You will be able to use Afterpay, shop now, buy later, for easy payments, no interest, no credit check, just basically a payment plan where you break your payments up into 4 easy to digest payments. So we have everything hooked up for you. It's gonna be great. Let's see. Do I have any other questions? You are welcome, Tawana. You're so welcome, girl. Eva says she loves the OPM, which is the open palm method. Let's see. Let me keep going. Latanya says, can you use too much of the mist? I was so used to misting with water, and now I feel like I use the mist the same way as water. I can be heavy-handed. I'm thinking I'm making I'm making a Soul Glow commercial coming to America. You can't necessarily use too much of it. I mean, it is like technically kind of serves almost like a leave-in conditioner / refresher. So you might have, I don't know, you might find like it may like, it can't really weigh your hair down because it's just a mist. So I would say you can't use too much of it. I don't know anyone who's ever used too much of it. Yeah, I don't think you can use too much of it. No one's ever asked me that. But, so I had to think about it. But I don't know how you would use too much of it. So you probably don't need as much as water. And actually, Latanya, you can actually go ahead and use water in conjunction with it. You don't have to do one or the other. Like I said, my son, he uses water on his hair first. He sprays it with the 360 mister. Y'all like those misters? Those 360 misters? I don't have one up here, but you know what I'm talking about? Y'all like those misters? That's going to be in the Black Friday bundle. Y'all ain't hear that from me, though. But we got misters for y'all for the Black Friday deal. It's a part of this, but it's a part of the whole collection, so I'm just saying. Anyway, yeah, you can use that, and then you can actually spray the hair mist on top of that. So that's what he does. Don't be afraid to use them both together. Like, water is amazing. Nothing wrong with water. You don't have to replace water with other products. So you can use them both together if you like. And that way, you won't be using so much hair mist. Okay, let's see. Jasmine says, so jealous of these 7+ day twist outs. The way my hair is set up, I get one good day. Anything after that is a hit or miss by the grace of God. Not if you follow my instructions, Jasmine, that I got for you coming up. I'm going to show all of you how, I don't care what your texture is, what your hair type is, or what your hair type ain't. I'm going to show you. I have type 4 hair. This is 4C up here. This is 4B down here. I don't got no like super silky smooth hair, right? And so it took me years to be able to perfect my twist outs. But I am literally going to show you all how to do it step by step, like every step of the way, the training, everything, so that you have these predictable, perfect twist out results every time. Every single time. I'm telling you, Jasmine, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your entire life. You're going to love me so much so. Amina says Gwen's nighttime method works for me. Open palm method in step 2, and a pineapple it up. Boom, done. Let's see what else. Hey, Adina, how are you? How's your shoulder? I know you had surgery. We talked. Let me know how things are going with you. Let's see. Lynette says, okay, and y'all, I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon because I know we said we was gonna do 10 questions. We've probably done like 20 at this point, but my phone has 10% left on it. It's gonna die. So I'm gonna try to get through a couple more. Lynette says, okay, a question. I love the products, but after I do my wash routine, my hair is moisturized. But after 3 days, my hair is still coily but seems dry. I use the Spanish almond regrowth oil and deep conditioner every week. Am I not getting enough moisture in it? So Lynette, you have to, you cannot, this is a common question of any product, right? It doesn't matter what product you use. You have to add moisture to your hair consistently, right? So generally after 3 days, and actually I'm surprised that you're able to go for 3 days and your hair feels moisturized, no matter what you're using, because we have to constantly add moisture to our hair all the time because our hair is naturally dry, right? Again, our hair is technically dead. There's no blood vessels or veins or anything working through it to kind of maintain that. So we have to do the work to add that in there. So remember I was saying, how your hair looks and performs has to do with how well or not so well you've been caring for it in the last 3 to 6 months. So that also goes for moisturizing. Don't be afraid to moisturize your hair every day. I moisturize my hair every day. It takes me all of 3 minutes. It should not be a long, arduous, drawn out process. This is super simple. Moisturizing your hair it shouldn't take a long time at all. Especially if you're using something like my open palm method that I talk about often. But yes, you should be moisturizing your hair more often than every 3 days. I'm going to tell you to moisturize your hair every day. At the minimum, I'm going to tell you to moisturize your hair every other day. At the bare minimum. Especially in this weather. I don't know what part of the country you live in. Or the world, technically, Lynette. But generally, if you are in an environment like I'm in, which is snowy outside, cold, for this time of the year, you definitely want to be doing it every day. Because the air, I'm looking this way because I'm like looking at the window. The air has no humidity in it during this time of the year to help our hair stay moisturized. So we have to do a double duty of keeping it, adding the moisture into it. So definitely, I'm so glad you asked this because so many people have the same sort of question. They're like, I moisturized my hair, I washed my hair, put the product in, it was good for like, 5 days, and then after that it was dry. Well, you went 5 days without moisturizing it, right? So and this is Naturalicious, any brand in the world. It doesn't matter what brand you're using, you're going to have to add more moisture into your hair. So keep doing what you're doing, but instead just add in an additional, just add in moisturizing regularly on top of that. Excuse me. And just like the analogy I gave earlier about the working out, it's not about how much moisturizer you put on at once. So you don't want to go ham slathering moisturizer all over your hair. What you want to do is be consistent with it. So like the analogy I gave about the working out, you can work out for 5 hours on one day, or you can work out for 1 hour over the course of 5 days. We all know that the second option is going to give you the better results because you're being consistent with it as opposed to just trying to get it all in at once. It's the same thing with moisturizing. So Lynette, when you are going to moisturize your hair, don't like go hard on trying to moisturize it and getting it hydrated at one time because your hair's probably just going to suck it up. Instead, be consistent and do it every single day. And over time, you will start to notice that your hair starts to retain moisture longer. Okay? So glad she asked that. Ashanti says, so I'm following all of your tips on deep conditioning with hot oil treatments and moisturizing daily, and I can see a difference. Yay! I love it! Yay! I'm so happy to hear that, Ashanti. So happy to hear that. And for those of you who do not know, Ashanti had like these long, beautiful locks, and she was using our products. So for those of you who have locks or know someone with locks who are like, oh, I don't know if I can use that, she was using them on her locks, and then she's like had it in like 3 different stages. Like she was using the products when she had just loose hair years ago. Then she was using it on her locks. Then when she locked her hair, then she just cut her locks off. So now she has a really cute TWA, and she's using them on the TWA. So that just really goes to show, like, no matter what stage your hair is in or what way you're wearing it, the products are designed to work for you regardless of what you're doing. But I'm super happy to hear, Ashanti, that you are seeing amazing results. Yay! Latanya says, should you give a rest period between protective styles, i.e. braids? It depends on how they're put in, who's doing them. Like, I love crochets because they're super easy to put in. They're super quick. The person who does mine, I specifically tell her, don't make them super tight at the roots because I don't want it to affect my edges. So it kind of depends on, like, you know, is whoever put them in, did they pull a lot at the roots? Because if that's the case, you probably do want to take a break in between. But if they're not doing that, then you should probably be okay with not taking a break. Like I said, I basically wore protective styles for like a whole year. But I definitely had a period of time in between. So there's like a week and a half in between each like month or so when I was taking them out, washing my hair, letting my hair breathe for like a week, and then putting them back in. So I wouldn't suggest like taking them out one day and then putting them back in the next day, because you need to wash your hair. You need to do your treatments. You need to do all that kind of stuff in between when you take them out and when you put them back in. Let me keep going. Charlene says, I'm so looking forward to Black Friday. Yay! Judy said, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see all the deals. Not like I need to purchase any more products, but I probably will. Erica said, I'm right there with you. Let's see. Amina agreed with Ashanti. Me too. The tips have completely changed my life. I'm certain I have the best hair ever right now because of what I've learned here. The nation rocks. Yay! That makes me so happy, you guys. Okay, I can't wait for Black Friday and 12 days of Christmas, says Beverly. Alicia says misters are cool. A lot of people excited about the 360 misters. Let's see, who else? I'm trying to get through everything before my phone dies, y'all. Okay, good, Adina. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Adina says, I'm pressing through the pain. It's getting a little better every day. Good. I'm glad. You know, Adina, I was actually supposed to be in Dallas next week, but I'm actually going to do a phone call for that meeting instead. So I won't get to see you. But yeah, I was like, oh, I want to see Adina. But it didn't make sense to fly all the way to Dallas for like a 30-minute phone call. So, or 30-minute meeting that could have just been a phone call. So we're just going to do a phone call. Hey, Rachel. Let's see. Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. Okay. I got through them all before my phone died. Yay! Eva said, did I miss the sweatshirt? What sweatshirt you talking about, Eva? I don't know what you mean. Let me know. All right, you guys. Thank you for joining me for Ask Me Anything. Again, it's like literally my favorite topic or non-topic to do because I get to answer the things that you're wanting to know. And yes, don't forget, as Eva asked, you know, we do have a Black Friday preview coming up. Lots of things, lots of really great stuff coming your way for Black Friday. Also 12 days of Christmas, so keep your eyes peeled and your notifications on. All right. Charlene says, when are you visiting the East Coast? I don't have anything coming up on the East Coast. I was just on the West Coast. I was in California last week for a speaking engagement. I don't have anything on the East Coast right now. But if you find a reason for me to get out there, let me know. I would love to come. No, Eva, you have not missed a Naturalicious sweatshirt. I don't know if you got a t-shirt. We had t-shirts. But we're actually working on sweatshirts. So, all right. But yes, I will, of course, let you know when the sweatshirts are available. All right, you guys, have a blessed evening, everybody. Talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye.